My guest today was an all-star outfielder. He was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 2000 MLB draft. He eventually became an absolute stud. He's a six-time all-star, three-time Silver Slugger, two-time Hank Aaron Award winner, and two-time MLB home run leader. It's my absolute honor to welcome to Jake's Takes the one and only Joey Bats, Jose Bautista. What's up, Jose? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me. Want to give a huge shout out to Gibby. Oh my gosh, as you know, I had him on my show, and it was probably the most fun time I've had on a podcast in I don't know how long. What a great guy, am I right?
Gibby's great. He's the man, and he's super funny. So I enjoyed my time with Gibby in the past, and looking forward to seeing him again this summer in Toronto.
Oh yeah, and of course he hooked us up, so mad props to Gibby. Anyway, Jose, where are you hanging out these days?
I'm at home in Tampa, sunny Tampa, Florida. Just hanging out here and helping around the house and trying to be the best dad I can be to my four little girls.
Oh my gosh, I come to Miami and it's beautiful down there. The weather's nice.
The weather's great. It's perfect right now.
Hope you're not a Rays fan because that'd be bad.
No, I think I'm a Blue Jays fan. I think I'll
Oh,
be a Blue Jays fan for life. So you don't have to worry about that.
oh yeah, it probably didn't feel like home when you went into Tropicana, you know?
I know it didn't. The Sky Dome, Rogers Center, and the feels that feels like home to me.
How come the Jays, like as an organization, we just have problems winning in Tropicana? I don't know what it is. I feel like every time we go in, we lose the series.
It's a tough place to play for anyone. But with the Jays, of course, I know paying attention, but it's just a tough pitching staff. They put a good team together to play solid defense, run the bases well. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So, offense will probably be their weakest point, but in the last couple of years, they've done better. It's just a tough team to play in general.
Very tough. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, we all got August 12th, circled on our calendars because that's the really, really, really special day that you're being honored by the Jays to be joining the level of excellence. You're joining other legends like Carlos Delgado, George Bell, Dave Steve, Joe Carter, Roy Halladay, and many others. But what does this accomplishment mean to you?
I'm super excited. I can't wait to be back up there and sharing that with the fans. It's a huge, huge, humbling opportunity and experience, and it's really something that I take to my heart, being able to be recognized like that. So just gonna try to have a lot of fun with it and enjoy it. It's a nice little take on what the team believes that was my contributions to being a Blue Jay. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Being a fan favorite, the fans are going to go nuts for you. But you were also a leader on and off the field. So have you ever considered maybe coming back to the Jays organization?
Well, I'm always open to things. If I can help out in any way and I can add some value, I'll definitely consider it. Maybe it's something will come up in the future, and I can't wait to be able to at least consider it.
Can you still play it all? Like you got the arm still, the bat?
I played in the Olympics a couple of years ago, and that was fun. But after being away for a little bit, it takes a different toll on your body. You gotta really be in shape and be accustomed to taking a toll that baseball puts on your body on a day-to-day basis. I'm still active. I still, ride my mountain bike, ride my road bike, and play a little soccer with some friends and go to the gym. But play some golf too. But I don't know how my body would react if I get back to playing baseball every day again.
I can like see you though, like in the bench, bringing some value, pointing out some stuff to Vladdy, showing him how to hit bombs the real way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he would be giving me the tips. What Vladdy and the rest of the guys are doing up there, Bo and the rest of the team, they're special talents, way younger than me when they kind of figured it out. So I'm happy that I get to watch and see all the special things that they do on a day-to-day basis.
We'll talk about the current Jays team like in a couple minutes, but first let's talk about one of the best home runs this game has ever seen. The bat flip in 2015. You know, in sports, I personally believe that showing emotion is really, really important, and it's amazing, and it's fans love it. Everyone loves to see a good old celebration. And I understand the other team got a little upset. There was a little bit of controversy about the bat flip, but I personally believe that it was just your emotion bursting out, and you were just throwing that bat out of excitement. Am I wrong?
You're completely right, and that's part of sports and part of being human. So that's exactly where it came from. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I think that was a huge moment for our franchise and our organization, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I wanted to just celebrate it. And it was not like I planned it. It was kind of like this heat of the moment kind of thing. It was definitely spontaneous. So, but now looking back, it's just a way to share my emotion with the fans and everybody watching.
Do you think Texas's reaction was wrong?
Everybody's entitled to a reaction. I can't say that they're right or wrong. All I can say is that probably would have felt different being on the other side. And it was a big game. It was a big moment. And I think my celebration was just a reflection of that. So I'm not here to kind of critique anyone, but I know that, Blue Jays fans, just like me, we all enjoyed it.
There's studs in the game now that are copying you. Like Tatis, every time he hits a big homer, he flips that bat like it's nothing. All these guys, like, do you see these clips and be like, "Oh yeah, boys, that's me, guys, that's me."
Maybe not like that, but I watched guys bat flipping when I grew up. So maybe that was a moment that was like the pinnacle of a renaissance per se of the bat flip. And if that's what it was, so be it. I'm just glad that people are now able to share some of that emotion a little more openly and more often on the field and without the negative repercussions. So I'm definitely happy that that's going on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Anyway, in today's game, we see some amazing home run hitters. We got Pete Alonso, Otani, Judge, all these guys. But you had a remarkable streak where you hit the most homers in the entire MLB from 2010 to 2015. You also led the Jays and you also led the league in back-to-back years in home runs. So it's not easy to consistently hit these bombs every year. How do you do this? Like, how do you consistently? What's the secret?
I don't think there's any secret. I think you trust in your talent. You go out there and you work hard every single day. You come prepared and you put in your best effort to live a lifestyle that's going to allow you to give your best every single day. You rely on your teammates and you try to go out there and win games. And if you get to accomplish something like what I did in that 5-year period, so be it. You kind of enjoy it now. For me, like that I'm retired, I get to enjoy it now. But for sure, just you know, try to build your confidence up by being the most prepared guy out there.
To prove my point about how hard it is to be consistent, we brought up with the long ball. We mentioned Vladdy before, and he's having a hard time hitting the long ball this year. He's still hitting amazing. His average is way up. Everything's doing great. But do you think he'll eventually get back to the regular 40 to 50 home runs?
Time will tell, but I don't think that's the only thing that we should look at to try to measure his success. I think his contributions to the team go way beyond his ability to hit home runs. Like you said, he's a great hitter. He goes out there and puts on a great at bat. If he doesn't do something positive by putting the bat on the ball, he's trying to get on base. He has a great eye at the plate. And he plays a gold glove defense at first base. And even though that he's slightly a bigger guy, he can run pretty well too. So I know he's a great presence in the clubhouse. He's a good leader as well. Maybe he's not the most vocal guy, at least in English, but he contributes a lot than just hitting home runs. So I hope that people never try to just box him into being a home run hitter and thinking that his only contributions are hitting home runs.
Talking about being like very fast and agile, you were very, very fast and agile, and you didn't steal too much in your days. Like, did Gibby not want you to? What was the deal there?
I don't know if I was that fast. Maybe I look fast, but I wasn't the fastest guy out there. I try to just make sure that I make good decisions, and I kind of knew my speed, so I took chances when I felt pretty good that I was going to make it. And on defense, I just try to be at the right place at the right time and be well positioned. And my arm helped me out a lot in right field. So maybe that's why I didn't look like I was too slow. But when you measured, just true speed, um, I was kind of like in the 50 percentile. I think I was league average.
That year actually, your Jays brought in some very, very fast base runners to try and maybe steal some bases. They brought in Ben Revere, Ezekiel Carrera, but like we don't see that too often in nowadays game. They don't go out and just get pure base runners. Do you agree? Do you think stealing is like kind of on the down lately?
Well, it was before this year. Now that the bases are a little bigger and there's some of the rules changes, I think, the evidence is there. Stolen bases are back. So teams are definitely going to be looking to add a lot more base stealers because it's just something to take advantage of in today's game. The pitch clock is helping the base runners. The bigger bases is helping the amount of pickoffs that you can have to each base. There's a lot of elements that are helping base runners still more, and I think it's going to be a huge part of playoff and contending teams moving forward.
Who do you think is the best base stealer in the game today?
Whew. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I do like Stary Reese. I think he's with the A's. He's pretty fast, and it seems like he's smart about when he picks his chances to try to steal. So I'm keeping an eye on him. He's Dominican too, so I can't help myself.
You played with some incredible teammates in Toronto, guys like Edwin Encarnacion, Marcus Stroman, Kevin Pillar, Josh Donaldson, many, many more. But which player were you the closest with? Like you're going out to a bar, who are you inviting?
I don't know if the bar was a top choice, but going out to dinner or something like that, Edwin for sure was number one. Melky Cabrera was a huge teammate. Jose Reyes was a big teammate. Kevin Pillar was a dear friend. So was Marcus Stroman. So was Ryan Goins. The list goes on and on. Kawasaki when he was with the team. We couldn't communicate perfectly, but we definitely enjoyed our time together. So I try to mix it up. I was just hanging out with all kinds of guys and different personalities. Justin Smoke was a great friend to me as well. Brett Cecil, just had a ton of them over the years. Vernon Wells, Alex Rios, Marco Scudero. The list goes on and on. I just try to get along with everybody and enjoy my time with the team.
Are you still close with these guys?
A lot of them, yes. Especially with Melky because he lives in Tampa as well. Jose Reyes, keep up with him and Edwin over the phone mostly. They lived in New York and Dominican, respectively. So that's the only tough thing about professional sports. Once people retire and everybody goes home, it's hard if you don't live in the same area or same town as your former teammates. It's hard to spend time together because everybody has kids and you have your family, and maybe for a summer vacation here and there, everybody can kind of come together and enjoy some time. But other than that, it gets pretty tough.
Little reunion, okay.
That's right.
Anyway, besides for Sam Dyson, who was the toughest pitcher for you to face? Because obviously it wasn't him.
Well, I had a lot of trouble with Ubaldo Jimenez and also CC Sabathia. For some reason, they both had these herky jerky motions with a little pause in the middle, and it just kind of threw my rhythm off. I was really a rhythm guy. I had to try to sync up with the pitcher and their tempo, and they both were really disruptive to my rhythm. So I had the most trouble hitting against those two.
Besides from your power, you also had a cannon of an arm in right field and were a very good defensive player. Do you think your defense was overlooked because of your power? Do you think people focused too much on your power and you were really an amazing fielder?
You know what? I didn't have the most range, like I said earlier about my foot speed. I wasn't the fastest guy, but I try to prevent as many runs as I was creating when I was out there on defense. And I felt like I could do that by knowing where to be and being strategic about my placement on the defensive side of the game by preventing guys to take an extra base, whether it's a double down the line that I can hold them to first base or a fly ball over my head to bounce off the wall that I could throw it quickly down to second and hold the left-handed batter to a single instead of a double. Making sure that I was charging ground balls and soft line drives hard enough to prevent guys going from first to third or second to home, stuff like that. And like you said, I throwing somebody out was probably my favorite part of playing baseball. So I always kept, my arm in tip-top shape. There was a point in my career where I had a small injury in my arm, and that kind of hurt me for a year or two. But other than that, I truly enjoyed just throwing people out and getting the most out of my arm. So every chance I had, I was just letting it loose. You know, I don't know if truly from the fan perspective, people were covering my defense as I thought I was contributing, or as well as I thought I was contributing. But that's not necessarily what I play the game for. If I knew I was helping out my team and winning games, that was all I needed. So I'm happy with how I was projected as a player, more on the offense than on the defense. I'm totally cool with it. But if you were to ask me, I would say I was pretty even spread player between offense and defense.
I agree with that 100%. Anyway, baseball got really lucky with some young, exciting players leading the way. Aaron Judge, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Ohtani. Who do you think's the face of baseball right now?
Well, that's another tough one. I don't know if there needs to be one. I guess if I had to pick one, just because of the way he carries himself and how poised and sophisticated of a player and a person he is, and how good of a person he is, Aaron Judge would be a pretty good candidate. But if you look at it from a perspective of excitement and bringing different flavor to the game, I do like Ronald Acuna a lot. So it depends on what your criteria is. It's hard to pick one though, because there's so many great players out there. But Aaron Judge would probably be a pretty good choice.
Okay, so last question, Jose. Is that good?
Yeah, for sure.
So the Jays got their ace, so we thought till this year, in Alek Manoah. What do you think's going on with him? You think he can bounce back and become the true ace that we all thought he would be?
It's definitely hard to say what's going on. I don't know Alek personally that much. I've run into him a couple of times and we've said hi to each other, but that's about it. I definitely think he can come back. I think people's career have ups and downs all the time. I think this is completely normal. I think he's shown what he can do. So if anything, it's going to challenge himself as a player and a person to try to figure out that formula. Because don't forget, he's young. He hasn't been around the block too much. So it's going to help him figure out that formula. What do I need to do on a day-to-day basis, both during the season and the off season, with my training, with my diet, with my recovery? And it takes some time to figure that out. So I think he's well on his way. He's shown what his ceiling could be. He could be a potential Cy Young guy year over year. And he definitely can take this as a challenge to kind of get better and grow up as a person and as a player, and into the player that he can be consistently in the future. So as long as he keeps a good outlook on it, he's going to be just fine, because we all know what he can do.
Jose, this has been such an absolute blast having you on my show. Did you have fun with me today?
This was great. This was so much fun. I think you're doing a great job, and I wish you the best of luck for the future.
Thank you so much.